Hello, welcome. In this video we explain why did Antarctica continent divided into many country and the full history of Antarctica. British Captain James Cook's ships, HMS Resolution and Adventure, crossed the Antarctic Circle on the 17th of January 1773, in December 1773, and again in January 1774. Cook came within about 120 kilometers, 75 miles, of the Antarctic coast before retreating in the face of field ice in January 1773. In 1775, he called the existence of a polar continent probable, and in another copy of his journal he wrote, "Firmly believe it, and it's more than probable that we have seen a part of it." Sealers were among the earliest to go closer to the Antarctic landmass, perhaps in the earlier part of the 19th century. The oldest known human remains in the Antarctic region was a skull, dated from 1819 to 1825, that belonged to a young woman on Yamana Beach at the South Shetland Islands. The woman, who was likely to have been part of a sealing expedition, was found in 1985. The first person to see Antarctica or its ice shelf was long thought to have been the British sailor Edward Bransfield, a captain in the Royal Navy, who discovered the tip of the Antarctic Peninsula on the 30th of January 1820. However, a captain in the Imperial Russian Navy, Fabian Gottlieb von Bellingshausen, recorded seeing an ice shelf on the 27th of January. The American sealer Nathaniel Palmer, whose sealing ship was in the region at this time, may have been the first to sight the Antarctic Peninsula. The first Russian Antarctic expedition, led by Bellingshausen and Mikhail Lazarev on the 985-ton sloop of war Vostok and the 530-ton support vessel Mirny, reached a point within 32 kilometers, 20 miles, of Queen Maud's Land and recorded sighting an ice shelf at 69 degrees 21 feet 28, s 2 degrees 14 minutes 50 seconds west on the 27th of January 1820. The sighting happened 3 days before Bransfield sighted the land of the Trinity Peninsula of Antarctica, as opposed to the ice of an ice shelf, and 10 months before Palmer did so in November 1820. The first documented landing on Antarctica was by the American sealer John Davis, apparently at Hughes Bay on the 7th of February 1821, although some historians dispute this claim, as there is no evidence Davis landed on the Antarctic continent rather than an offshore island, on the 22nd of January 1840, 2 days after the discovery of the coast west of the Balleny Islands. Some members of the crew of the 1837 to 1840 expedition of the French explorer Jules Dumont d'Urville disembarked on the Dumoulin Islands, off the coast of Adelie Land, where they took some mineral, algae, and animal samples, erected the French flag and claimed French sovereignty over the territory. The American captain Charles Wilkes led an expedition in 1838 to 1839. And was the first to claim he had discovered the continent. The British naval officer John Ross failed to realize that what he referred to as the various patches of land recently discovered by the English and American navigators on the verge of the Antarctic Circle, were connected to form a single continent. The American explorer Mercator Cooper landed on East Antarctica on the 26th of January 1853. The first confirmed landing on the continental mass of Antarctica occurred in 1895, when the Norwegian-Swedish whaling ship Antarctic reached Cape Adare. During the Nimrod expedition led by the British explorer Ernest Shackleton in 1907, parties led by Edgeworth David became the first to climb Mount Erebus and to reach the South Magnetic Pole. Douglas Mawson, who assumed the leadership of the Magnetic Pole Party on their perilous return, retired in 1931, between December 1908 and February 1909. Shackleton and 3 members of his expedition became the first humans to traverse the Ross Ice Shelf, the first to cross the Transantarctic Mountains, via the Beardmore Glacier, and the first to set foot on the South Polar Plateau. On the 14th of December 1911, an expedition led by Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen from the ship Fram became the first to reach the geographic South Pole. Using a route from the Bay of Whales and up the Axel Heiberg Glacier 1 month later, the doomed Scott expedition reached the pole. I hope you enjoy our video. If you enjoy our video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share.